Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs,
We are awake, we are not alone.
if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset,
We are striving for more.
start taking iron today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of iron. Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
I'm starting off fresh and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. I am good. Happy Friday, my friend.
And it's TGIF, everybody.
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it is Friday. And I gotta say, I don't have a whole lot planned for today. Don't know what in the hell's gonna go on.
It's Friday, my dude.
But it is Friday, my dude. So let's jump right in and say hello to my guests here. We'll start off with Mr. Zack Zabala. You might know him from his channel, Good Times for All, here on YouTube. Zach, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Josh. Hey, everybody. Not too bad. You know, sun came around. Good day.
It's all you can ask, I suppose.
I told that to there was a new gentleman working at the grocery store yesterday. And an older gentleman, and he was helping the young lady there bag some groceries. And he was like, "How are you doing today, sir?" Well, I was like, as long as the Creator passes the sun over my head again, it's a good day. And he was like, "Amen." He was like, "That's how you got to be." He's like, "Life is what you make it." And that guy got it right there. I could tell. So yeah, good day.
Good. That's what I like to hear. And now let's head on over, since we have headphones and microphones and everything that work. Let's say hello to Mrs. Cammie Nodell. She's got a channel on YouTube, Aisling717. Cammie, how are you, my dear?
Well, I am doing good. After that wonderful, inspiring intro from Zach, it's probably in bad humor or whatever to say. He's been making me do exercises, and I'm tired.
What a day.
I guess my wine is not going to go anywhere on that. But yeah, no, doing good. Zach's got me. I'm working on improving my circulation, so he's got me exercising all the time, and I'm feeling old and like a baby.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Exercise is good. It's a good kind of sore.
Yeah, so say you.
I guess it is. You got to learn to appreciate it.
What is that? It's what you make of it, right?
Something.
Yeah.
So how was your day, Josh?
Mine was quiet, uneventful. After last weekend's long holiday weekend, uh, all the corporate staff, the front office staff, and all the management staff, all but like one or two of the managers, all took off and went to Branson, Missouri. Apparently, there's a sausage festival or something going on down there, and they all wanted to go down and hang out. So it was real quiet at work, and the managers that were there just kind of mailing it in today. So they just got a pile of donuts, and we all just kind of sat around and bullshit most of the day, eating donuts, drinking coffee, doing a little work here and there. But Big Boss Man says, you know what, 2:30 and I'm done. So we're all leaving at 2:30. So I said, okay. So I got home a little bit early. So it was a nice quiet day. Just getting a few things caught up with there at work so we can stay on task and keep our schedule rolling. I did see Liz in chat, sorry, real quick, asking about Billy Ray Valentine, because Billy Ray Valentine was supposed to be the guest. If you had listened last week, you would think, as does Liz, where's Billy Ray? He was supposed to come, but yeah. You'll notice with just the two other people here that we're missing a flat earth head around here somewhere. Walter had plans this evening. And because of his plans, because he had plans.
Really said, you know what? Fuck all those people in chat. I don't care about them. I'm just going to sit here and play video games. No, he didn't. Not at all. Nothing like that.
Yeah, I was a little shocked he was so mean about it. It's just not like him, but he was really, really just being a bitch. I don't know what his deal was. No, Walter loves you all, and I know he would be here if he could. I had my fingers crossed, hoping it would just rain its ass off and he'd get stuck at home and he'd come in anyway. But looks like they're going to go ahead and make it out to where they have plans this evening and tomorrow and the weekend. So maybe he's listening in. Maybe
I guess Michelle can borrow him this Friday.
I know he told her like 8 years ago that Fridays were ours. I don't know where she gets off coming to try to take him on a Friday. No, but because Walt wasn't going to be here, Billy Ray's not here. And because Billy Ray's not here, So I thought maybe we would open the flat line, perhaps. I might drop the link for Restream. Anybody that has the Zoom link, feel free to go ahead and bust out that old link and click on it. It ought to work. Maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. It's the same link, though. If it doesn't work when you click through it, copy the link, paste it in the browser, and go in that way. I've heard it works.
Yep, that works for me. When it doesn't work the other way, I always do it that way. Actually, tonight, I just went ahead and did it that way.
Now, I know while we're waiting, we have people in the chat with questions, and they have some of the same questions I have. Sausage Fest, Josh? Sausage Fest?
Usually it's like ground pork with pepper and sage, and then they shove it all into this little thin skin, almost looks like a condom, and they kind of twist it at the end, and you can heat it and eat it right in that little packaging, that nice little super thin, almost like a cat gut, nothing much there, just it looks like meat in a condom, and you cook it and you eat it. Got a nice little crisp bite to it if you get it cooked just right. Nice juicy. It's all over your face. I mean, I don't really like sausages.
Uh-huh. Well, I know you make it sound delicious. I mean, you'd really... I want one, but can we even say that politically correct anymore? Because I want you to keep in mind, like in Colorado today, they passed laws renaming everything with the name squaw in it, because squaw is all of a sudden not politically correct. And I'm just wondering, a sausage fest, I mean, it can have other meanings.
It can.
You know,
before you joined,
yeah.
You know,
I've seen people doing YouTube channels now, just going out and they'll ask, they'll dress like there's one guy dressed in a sombrero and a poncho and really bright colors. And he had maracas. When he went and asked a bunch of white people in California, he was in Southern California. And all these white people said it was offensive. All of them. Then he went and walked down to the Spanish community part and asked them if this was offensive. And they all loved it. They all loved that he was wearing, that getup that he was wearing. He said, no, we don't find this offensive. So really, political correctness it's infuriating. It's nonsense. It's a bunch of white people feeling guilty for the thoughts that they have in their head.
Liberal arts
in
college.
my opinion. Yeah, in my opinion, those are racist people. The white people that go out and say, oh, black people can't be racist. That is a fucking racist statement, moron.
Why? Because black people aren't smart enough to be racist?
Oh, and then they went and asked a bunch of white people, what do you think about the voting laws? Oh, it's not fair to black people because they can't do this. And black people got pissed off when they heard this. What do you mean we can't get an ID? I don't know anybody that doesn't have an ID. What do you mean internet? We don't know how to use the internet. Yeah, just all the excuses were so dumb, but it's that stupid shit you hear by politicians. And then it's just regurgitated. Instead of actually going and talking to people, and asking them what they think about it, no, we'll just regurgitate what the politician says. They can't be wrong. I'm sure they went and talked to them. No, obviously not. Oh, this political correctness stuff, at least it's getting shown out for what it really is. Just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, I know I'm old now. I'm in my 40s, but when I was young, I was taught sticks and stones will break your bones. Words will never hurt you. Now they act like words are fucking bullets. Sorry. Excuse me, rant over. I gotta calm down. I'm starting to get hot out here.
For what it's worth, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can leave lifelong psychological scars too. But my mom always did say you can always get mad or get glad in the same paint you got mad in. That's part about being an adult.
I like Mama and the wisdom. I caught that being the adult.
Yeah. You can want in one hand and shit in the other and see which fills up first.
So there is some news out of Flat Earth.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear.
What's that guy's name, Cam?
That guy's name is Shane Dawson.
Now, we're old, so we had never heard of him.
So we looked him up. Go ahead, Zach.
I thought he had a creek.
Yeah. I thought he was from a band or something. I was like, is he from? But that was a different last name, I think. But no, he was a big YouTuber back in the day. And then about 2 years ago, he just fell off the earth on both of his channels. But he had I want to say 15 plus million on his first channel and 1.5, something like that on his backup channel. And he came back about 4 months ago and has been talking about Flat Earth a lot. Talking about Mandela effect a lot. And his videos, they're not getting the 15 million views they used to get, but he's still getting 1.4 million views on these videos. Talking about, and his brother, he talked to about Flat Earth. His brother laid it out beautifully. It sounded like he had watched a bunch of Dave Weiss interviews. Yeah, it was awesome. Do you still have that video, Cam? Could we share that in chat?
I can, and here, let me put it in there. And then if you want to grab it out and display it, let me see if I can get that up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, if you want to share it. But yeah, he was real. He had a really big following at one time, and he still has, he's still getting millions of views per video. But he's really into, he was talking a lot about Mandela the last few videos that he's done. And it's not like he does them every day or even every week. It's kind of random and sporadic, but he does have a lot of followers.
Now, which
And
video? Which video do you want me to share, Zach?
the one you showed me from is the Bible from. Was that the name of the channel?
That's not. I'm trying to lock in on it. No, tell me.
It wasn't Shane Dawkins' channel. Someone else had shared that.
I don't think
Remember?
it was. I don't think it was me. Let's
Is
think
the
about
Bible
it.
from Heaven channel, maybe?
Hmm.
Let me see.
I might be a really bad sharer on this one because I'm not quite sure where we're going. For a minute, I thought that we were sharing
Here we
the
go. Here
Dave
we
Weiss
go.
video.
No. I'll drop it to you in Skype.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If my phone will do it. But yeah, it's neat when people with such a large audience jump onto it. And he's definitely saying, well, I don't know about flat earther. His brother was saying this. He's like, what I'm saying is I don't believe the earth is what they've told us, which is smart. That's, at least I think it is. That's how I go about it. I don't know the exact shape. It appears pretty flat, but what this place even is, I don't have a clue. So I dropped that in your Skype there, Cam.
Okay, and you want me to try to play it? So that's pretty brave of you, but I will. Hold on one second. And we're going to share.
Yeah, we don't have to play the whole thing. We can just go like a minute here, a minute there. It's all about flat Earth.
Yeah, I can definitely skim through it and we can stop and talk, except for I do not have any rights, Joshua.
Oh, no, you're right. I didn't give anybody anything. All right, you're safe. I have granted you power by the power vested in me by God, country, and queen. Nope, wait, scratch that.
Logan Cook, shout out for the super chat. He asked, what do you guys think about Saturn appearing spherical like in this video?
I can't figure out how to even open the motherfucking video.
I know it won't let me just click on the video. It keeps saying something about the super chat.
Without having seen it, just off the top of my head.
Are we ready?
It's okay for things to appear spherical. Karen did a pretty good video about things appearing spherical.
Yeah. Yeah, I took a laser and a lens and made a sphere on a rotating sphere of laser lights. It looked a lot like a sphere though. And I could rotate it in any direction and all kinds of neat stuff. So yeah, it's above our heads. It's beyond our reach. I don't know. Okay, it's on his channel. All right, Logan, I'll go check it out.
Believe the earth is flat. Still? Yeah. That was a joke about the world being flat, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen Saturn like
I
that.
wanted to try something different and come up with a new segment for these conspiracy videos. I want to talk to somebody who believes in a crazy conspiracy theory.
Wow, that's pretty zoomed in, too.
Convince me to believe in
Is that a P1000?
So I went to the biggest conspiracy theorist I know. My boy.
Well, it could be a 900, I guess. My 610 didn't get it to look nearly that big.
Jared, who might be an even bigger conspiracy
But the zoom's a lot smaller on my 610. It's only a 60 by zoom.
So I want to talk to you about the flat Earth theory because it's something that
yeah, that was a great shot of Saturn there, Logan.
Move on.
Usually it's got to be nice and clear to be able to get Saturn in that well, and you could still see it. It was still kind of how it blurs a little bit. They call that what is it? Astronomical seeing. It's turbulence in the air above, heat rising. There's all kinds of different things. Dust particulates in the atmosphere. There's all kinds of things that can make it appear to, to look like it's under or behind something. Like when you look out over the cornfield and you can see all the disturbance right above the corn. Yeah, that happens way up into the atmosphere. They actually have things that are called astronomical seeing charts for pretty much, anywhere there's a observatory or a college with an astronomical department, they have seeing charts for that area. They pretty much cover the U.S. for the most part. I was looking into that a lot when I was doing the angular resolution limit calculation thing that I made. And that's where I stopped. Big shout out to Karen B in chat. Hopefully she's not pulling any of that beautiful hair out. Flytoberfest just flying towards us. I am ready.
Karen B has got a debate tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm not sure where she's 2 hours away. I cannot wait. She is going on with Witsit, and they are debating on the Modern Day Debate channel against Taylor and Amy. And I can go in and drop a link into the chat for this, but it should be fun to see Karen B and Witsit on the same side doing debating together. And I wish Modern Day would keep it a little bit cleaner and that he wouldn't insult like flat earthers per se, but overall, I know that they'll do a good job. Oh, thank you, Karen. She's dropping it in there. We can do what we can do and present what we can present, and people will again take it from there. So I'm really excited. Karen, if you want to come on and talk about the debate at all, if you have some energy you want to get off, you are more than welcome. I think you have the Zoom link. And this is Modern Day Debate Tonight.
Were you gonna bring up that one video there, Camera Joe?
I brought it up and I screen shared and everything and had it up and running, and then I lost where I was in the Zoom meeting and the other screen by doing it. My machine wouldn't run them all at the same time the way it is right now, so I don't know if I can do that. I'm not sure where we lost Josh to. I can try again.
Let's see.
Bye. Here, I'll have it in my history. Here, I had it up and running. I did. I closed everything in order to get it back. It was right here. And here we go. We've got Zach at the controls. Yeah, I thought it had everything going, but it didn't on the show. Now I'll lose that, and it's not on the show. I can't see what's going on. But that's what happened the whole time you've been talking. It didn't happen on the screen. I don't see the... Okay.
Okay. Sorry about
Okay.
that, folks.
Now, can you see? Because I did this before when you're up and running.
Yeah,
and
I see it.
Okay.
To it because there's such a stigma around it.
We're going to talk about the flat earthers.
What is a flat Earth society, by the way?
People who believe the earth is flat.
Still?
Yeah.
That was a joke about the world being flat, right?
Was it?
But I wanted
Now
to try
Shaq
something
actually
different
went
and
back
come up
on
with
that
a new
again. Now
segment
he's
for these
saying the earth is
conspiracy
flat
videos.
again. Have you heard that? That was like a week ago. I didn't say anything about it on the show because really, who cares? You know, after what he did last time and all that. But now he's trying to come back out and say, yep, the earth is flat again.
Who is this?
Shaquille O'Neal is saying
Oh,
this
okay.
again.
Okay, Shaq. I just didn't know what Shaq was. Okay. No, I didn't follow that. I didn't catch him doing that.
Yeah, it was like maybe last week or the week before he came back out and said it again. So, yeah, I don't know. Just food for thought. I mean, he is a, he's a Mason. So take that into account, I guess.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Believes in a crazy conspiracy theory, and they have to try to convince me to believe in it too. So I went to the biggest conspiracy theorist I know, my brother. Okay, I am here with my brother Jared, who might be an even bigger conspiracy theorist than me.
Can you pause it for a second, my friend?
But I'm trying.
I can.
Now, this guy did an interview with Mark Sargent. I think it was a few years ago, something like that, maybe 3-4 years ago. But this guy was one of the guys that interviewed Mark. He's interviewed him. So he's been, he knows the whole. Yeah, I thought this was going to be one of those stupid things. Oh, it's a disc floating in space, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I think this guy does a pretty good job explaining this.
Excellent.
So I want to talk to you about the flat earth theory because it's something that you've kind of touched on and I always kind of like move on because I've heard it's so crazy.
It is very crazy. In order for you to even start to take it seriously, you have to put yourself in the mind frame of people that believe in the flat earth. And why would they even want to believe in the flat earth?
Well, you're saying they, so you don't believe it?
I'm open to the idea. I don't know. For me, at least, it's hard for me to pinpoint what I believe. So I'm open to both.
Same.
What?
You sound like a bisexual thing. Okay.
Oh. I'm down for the flat earth, but that round earth got me too.
Okay.
I'm a weekend flat earther.
Okay, so we have to be in the mind.
So where are we going with this, or forward, or because I'm not familiar with this? Hello?
I have no idea.
I have
Oh,
no
sorry,
idea.
I was muted. You could jump ahead a couple minutes. They're going to start talking about flat Earth. Yeah, they joke a lot. But he's explaining the Robert Simmons and all this stuff right here. Yeah, you can tell it sounds like, he's taking David Weiss's playbook almost.
And doing it seriously. Nobody
Yeah.
does it better than David Weiss. So anybody that takes the playbook from him, I'd love to see. I'm looking at different channels now that are looking at conspiracies and thinking of saying, David, I know he does so much, but he does such a good job with it. We'll go ahead and do this and see how he does explaining.
If you zoom in on them, there's cloud formations that repeat several times, which how could that ever really happen? They're just copying and pasting things.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
That's one thing that builds distrust, because you have to have distrust of who's giving you your information to feel like maybe the flat earth is feasible, right?
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Well, and even the moon landing is one of those things where, like, maybe 20 years ago, everybody thought, oh, that's stupid, that's crazy. But now, I feel like kind of everybody's down for the moon landing being fake.
I mean, they say all the footage of the original moon landing was lost.
You know what they think happened to the original moon tapes? Is they might have been taped over. It's not a cassette. It's not an old mixtape from college.
We've been unable to track it down. And as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
It's incredible that we can keep track of Egyptian pots from 2,000 years ago, but we lose tapes made only 40 years ago.
So we lose all the...
And this is great information. They're putting it out to a new audience with this. It all looks the same to us. It all looks completely the same, what we've seen day in, day out, year after year. But this is putting it out again to a fresh audience and with good footage Did you want me to
Yeah,
keep
it's really
going?
well done. It seems like they put it together. You know, they talk a little bit, then they show what they're talking about. Other people saying it.
Right,
Yeah,
and
go
they
ahead.
have,
They're talking about the UN and the Antarctica surrounding us and stuff like that.
and they have good production qualities with it. You have people filming it and again making it again without you even sensing it a better video level and easier to watch.
And then you see all the continents spread out. So if this was a globe, they spread it out like this. So that's the model that they believe in. There's an Arctic ice wall around it. And one reason this gets perpetuated and people think it's valid to think Antarctica is the barrier is because in the late 50s, there was a treaty signed by almost all the major countries of power to not let anybody go into Antarctica. So if you try to get close to Antarctica, they're going to tell you, get the hell out of here. You could go on little explorations of it, but nothing without a bunch of people monitoring you, right? And planes don't fly over it. All flight patterns take you away from Antarctica. No one's flying directly over it. They always take a weird route. Like there was an airplane that was going from the Philippines to Los Angeles, which should be a straight route. Philippines
And
to
this is
Los
one of
Angeles.
Dave's one to
Mid-flight,
use.
a woman, her water broke. So they had to make emergency landing. They could have either just turned around or kept going to Los Angeles. Somehow they ended up in Alaska. So the flight plan to get them from Philippines to Alaska, if you put it on a flat Earth map, it's a straight line from the Philippines to Alaska. But when you put it on a globe, it makes no sense, right? So there's like, let me break some stuff down. The world that we live in. Let's really analyze this. We live in a world that is all based on material things. Materialism really is what controls the country. Money, really it's about sex. It's about objects.
This is my shoe closet.
And see, it is my closet. Everything here would be designer. Gucci, Louis, Versace.
It's about egos and how people feel about themselves. All marketing is based off of fears and compulsions to make us be driven to want to do things, right? So our whole life is filled with billboards and advertisements and commercials, and it keeps us very occupied on that surface level of life, right? And it makes it easier to control you. You know, music is a huge influence on the culture. You know, we had gangster rap 20 years ago.
Rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. When I'm called on, I got a sword on. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hard on.
And then all of a sudden, the prison system started filling up even faster. You have nowadays with people rapping about Xanax and opiates.
Xanax gone fake, yeah. Designer shoes is next time. Popping on X.
They do a good job here as far as feeding into the different things in society that do feed it. Anything, any comments on that, Zach, or where do you want to go with this?
Yeah, no, I thought they broke this down. Can you just go to the end a little bit? Later on, keep going. He goes into Elon talking about how Elon says it's a simulation. He's kind of onto the simulation theory. Talks about flying and where you don't see the curve. The sheep analogy in here is it's a really good video.
I think here's your sheep analogy.
Yeah, is the Bible from heaven? It's called the name of the channel with a question mark.
So, is the Bible from heaven? Is the earth a globe? Sean Dawson looks into flat earth, and I can again drop that into the show chat right now. Hi, everybody in the chat. Did you want to keep going or show something more on the video, or?
The sheep analogy part is really cool.
Okay.
I like that part a lot.
Let's see how close I got.
Happening. That I somehow, have meaning in this as opposed to I'm a speck of dirt on this planet that's just hurtling through space. Yeah. And they don't want you to feel like that. So that really is what it is. In order to control the sheep, you have to make them feel like there's a gate there. So they constantly keep a gate there. There's videos of sheep that they take out the barbed wire on a gate, and they believe the gate is still there. So they all smash against this area without being forced in by the gate. They've just been trained that this rectangular area that has a gate is where you stay. They could go at any point. It's just they're brainwashed into believing that gate's still there, right? What would they think if all of a sudden they realize there's no gate there? I could run free. What would that do to the sheep herder? The sheep herder has to make those sheep believe that they're stuck there. and their only purpose is to follow him and do what he says. All we are is just getting furred for sweaters and chopped up for meat to eat. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how we're being treated. What are sheep for? Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now that we've talked about it, do you think the Earth is flat?
100% honest, I don't care about the shape of the Earth. to be honest with you, we're generalizing the theory when we just call it flat Earth. Flat Earth is just one variable. It's just the shape of the Earth. Do I believe that this Earth was designed to have things on it that could have purpose? Yes. So I see myself attracted more to it than I do a Big Bang Theory where people evolved and we're just here because of a cycle and that's pretty much it. And then at any point an asteroid's going to hit us and we're all going to be dust. So I subscribe to the ideology of the flat Earth theory. As far as it being flat, it becomes less and less important to me as I dig into it. You know, what becomes more important to me is why am I here? And why am I here doesn't make sense unless you put it in context that things were created for a purpose. You know?
Well, then I guess if you put it that way, I guess I kind of believe it too. Oh my God!
Well, see, but but we're not believing it's flat and all this. We're believing that it was created and it's not everything that it's been told to us, right? We're open to acknowledging that it isn't exactly what we've been told. That's all we're doing, right? Right. We're not flat earthers.
No.
There you go.
There you go. Big channel, folks. Jumping on the flat Earth.
I don't know, but ending the video with "we're not flat earthers" and laughing at it like that would be stupid. But saying we're not on, we're worth it. It could have been done a little bit. Again,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't trust.
see-
I don't trust how big they were before because of people like Logan Paul and some of the things supposedly trolling to get off of there. So this could be great, or it could just be a setup too.
Well, this is weird because it was like when COVID came out, this guy fell off the face of the earth. And he didn't talk about conspiracies before any of this. And then he came back 4 months ago and he's talked about nothing but conspiracies. And his brother obviously has done some research, you know, just to say what he said that we saw right there. Didn't just come from, you know, the Flat Earth Society for sure. He even talks about the Flat Earth Society and there being disinformation. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be, you know, a big sham, but it doesn't seem like it to me. He was really big on Mandela and the whole idea of this being a simulation. I think the last few videos he did, I couldn't even find this video on his channel.
Because it
But
wasn't on his channel, right? Yep.
yeah, he did a bunch of videos about man. It could have been in there during one of those Mandela videos. Those were pretty long. Most of his things were like live streams or really, you know, a couple hours long, not that short right there. So that could have been a snippet in one of the videos. But yeah, he's come back and talked about nothing but conspiracies since he's been back, as far as what I could see on his channels. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. And I still don't go over to TikTok, but Austin said it's like 1.7 billion now. Flat. If you type in flat Earth, there's 1.7 billion hits for flat Earth on TikTok.
Interesting. Now, see, this is where I'm lost because I don't do any of this. And looking at, I mean, I looked this gentleman up today and learned about 20 seconds of his stuff, but it's again, it's not where I would spend my time ever. When his channel was popular, it's not a place I would spend my time
Yeah,
on.
no, I didn't even really care for. I clicked into one of the conspiracy things he did, and I really didn't care for that one. It's not my, you know, my cup of tea.
Right, but it's good that people that have that everybody reacts to something, you know, to a different
Yeah, obviously people do like him if he's still getting millions of views on his videos
if he is and
after
if he
2 years of being silent.
exactly, and to have that following in the first place. And so what he does say says matter. I just feel lost with it because again, it's not I have no clue. I am so not trendy. I'm such a nerd. I'm like I was making myself watch accelerometer videos and processing and that's where my mind has been. Liz, I would have been better off doing the RH negative talk. I'm just lost with helping you out with this, Zach, and I apologize. You keep on trying hard with it and I don't know where to go. I'm a bad co-host. What happened to our other co-host, Josh? Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. I muted on you, Cam. You're not alone. Don't worry.
I'm all alone. Josh is gone and now Zach is gone and I'm
Nope,
scared.
I'm still here. There was one more thing I really wanted to bring up, and I forget what it is now.
Are you gonna
What
have to
was
do better than that? Hmm.
Oh, I don't know. It's gone. There's something about flat Earth. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me.
I know that I wanted to bring up Karen being on Modern Day Debates tonight, which was quite exciting. And I know she dropped the link into the chat, so I'm hoping to see y'all there tonight. Is there anybody out there, Brian? We don't know. We don't know who is out there. We
We
don't
couldn't even
know.
answer the phone if you were calling right now anyway.
If you could, yeah, we have. I wouldn't know if you said hello. I wouldn't know how to let you in. Except for the Zoom link. So yeah, Josh will be playing with his rabbit. That's probably true. I see him walking back with food. With food. Josh was hungry. Hi, sweetie.
Look at that look.
Sorry.
Hi, sweet. Did you get some food?
I did.
We fell apart entirely without you. Zach went into modern times, and it's like pop culture. It couldn't have been a worse topic for me. I'm not popular. It's not my culture. We didn't talk nerd stuff. I missed you, Josh. I miss you so much. Welcome back. Hold a conversation that's like not. I'm so bad. It's like you're out of my realm entirely.
I don't know if I could do any better. There was a small rabbit, not necessarily emergency.
Ooh, we're guessing bunny emergency. Is everything okay?
Well, like I said, it's not an emergency, but rabbits are prey animals. And ours is a particularly sweet prey animal, so she's not prone to skittishness when you're standing over her or petting her. She's not like most other rabbits. She likes her affection. But because she's sort of hitting her pubescent stage, she's getting pretty territorial.
Oh, no.
So she doesn't like it when the dogs go through to go outside. They have to go through her area. And she's taking a special... Shibby, she doesn't fuck with too much. The big one, which is probably pretty good, because he's the one that could just, like, step on her.
Nap. Yeah.
I mean, they can all... Pop. I mean, even Esme, she's a little maniacal. When she grabs a toy, she doesn't just, like, shake it. She, like, shakes it. It's absolutely nuts. So it's like... There's
no killing it.
Yeah, there's no little... When it comes to the dogs, it's not like a small bunny accident. I think it's a one-and-done type situation. But that's a great thing about the bunny that's not particularly a prey animal. She will just straight chase dogs around the kitchen. Because I think she nips at the heels, nips at the feet. She can't really do much. It's just a little bunny rabbit. But it's enough to get the dog's attention. So the dog's like jumping around, bouncing around, trying to avoid the rabbit. The rabbit's chasing the dog. They're all causing a big commotion. I don't want the dog to snap and go after the rabbit. So I'm trying to chase both of them around, trying to catch one or the other. I don't really give a shit which. It was just a bit of a chaos. And
now see, Josh, I relate. This is dogs and children and the family chaos. I deal with that. I can totally relate to what you're saying and put myself in there. And I've seen, like, with our little animals and the chaos they cause and going, I have a little dog that's totally fearless. He thinks he is the big shit and wants to die. And you've seen that little dog. He's not very big. He gets scared when Hank's not there, but when Hank's there, he pretty much will take on a pit bull and has tried. Parents' pit bull, yeah.
I grew up with like big dogs or medium-sized dogs, not little dogs. Little dogs were little yippy bastards until I actually got a Shih Tzu. And I had a little dog for a little while, and that dog was just loyal as could be. Just loved that little dog. So it turns out I'm not real partial to any one particular animal. It's just kind of all the animals. I didn't think I was a bunny guy till I got a bunny. Go figure. Wasn't a cat guy till I got a cat. Go figure. Yeah, that was Dixie's biggest surprise when we got Esme, because she was a rescue. And this is our medium-sized black dog, the little maniacal one. And she was found with 2 siblings, and their mother had abandoned them or got killed or something before they were like properly weaned. So they had been just like scavenging and just living under this house, just barely surviving as little puppies, and just had mange. So I went to go rescue this dog, one of these little puppies, and the tech comes out carrying this just disgusting fucking thing. Didn't look like a dog. Her paws were all swollen. Her face was all swollen. Her body was all swollen from the mange and the malnutrition. It was just this fucking weird ass looking little creature. And then she just pisses all over the deck right there. I'm like, oh, fuck, what have we gotten ourselves into? And she hung out in the corner for a little bit, for a few days, until she finally started to warm up. And then once she did, that was it. So Dixie says, so how are you going to be when it comes time to actually find this little dog a forever home? Because we're just fostering. And I just smile and nod and never really answer any particular questions directly until the time kind of came when the mange was sort of under control and she was kind of getting to that age and to the point where she could actually do it. She was socialized. She was good. And she says, all right, well, do I need to call Stray Rescue and tell them we're ready to get her up for adoption? And at this point, we had gone through so much work and such a turnaround from that nasty fucking creature that just pissed all over the tech to the socialized, happy, healthy, just lovey little Esme that we knew and had come to love. And it was just impossible to let her go. And she thought, well, just based on my experience with men and my ex-husband, I thought for sure you were going to be the steadfast one, the hard one, the rock that was going to be able to turn this dog back over. Said, I had no idea you'd be such a softie. Mm-hmm. Now she does. Now she knows.
It's the toughest guys that always wind up breaking the most. You're like that Karen's Ted over at Karen Land. The animals love him. He loves them. Our guest, yes, your guest last week. That I had to laugh over my last time over visiting because the animals, they all do. They're drawn. They adore Ted. And he rescued this cat, and this cat knows that Ted saved his life. And the cat's got Ted wrapped entirely around its little cat paw. Let's put it that way. They also have a pit bull that the pit bull children can climb on top of it, ride the pit bull, do anything. The pit bull is the most loving, gentle animal in the world. Until you introduce another little furry animal, which the pit bull thinks they're prey. They need to die. I need to keep our house clean. So you have Ted drawing animals from the forest and Remy wanting to eat all of the animals that Ted draws from the forest. And it's this constant battle of prey and then putting Ted in the middle of trust. So Ted's walking Remy and is tired. He just worked. He'd done all of this stuff at work. He comes home. He does all this gardening and chopping woods and he's sweating and he's tired and he goes to take the dog for the walk. And the damn cat senses that he's tired. He's worn out and just kept on picking a foot and a half in front of where the dog was to plop itself, lay down, and belly up. So Ted would have to hold with all of his might the dog wanting to kill the cat. And the cat sat there looking like, I know you won't let go of the dog because I would die, so I'm just going to mess with you because it's like your arms aren't tired enough. And yeah, animals are amazing. The way they manipulate their people, it's they really get a lot of amusement out of us.
And we them, I suppose.
And we them. And we them especially, yes.
So I just found this. This is cracking me up. Okay, we all know the Artemis was scrubbed, right? The attempt to launch the Artemis moon mission, blah, 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 blah. So they says it hopes to attempt another launch of the unmanned Artemis 1 moon mission later this month. What do you mean another launch? You never launched it yet. Attempt a launch? During the press conference, blah, 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 they were eyeing September 23rd or 27th. Okay, after a fuel leak, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is where it gets interesting.
Well, didn't they attempt a launch?
No, they never even tried because the fuel was leaking. So they never even got the...
I thought they had got it out there to the pad and...
Well, yeah, but they never hit the button.
Well, no, they didn't actually launch it. But they had attempted to.
Yeah,
they had got the rocket out there. They were gonna do. They were gonna launch it. They had attempted, but they were leaking fuel.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
So now they're just gonna attempt to launch another one. Make another attempt at a launch. Make an attempt another launch.
Yeah,
something.
So, but there could be an issue. Get this.
What? No.
Yeah. The agency still needs to get a waiver for its battery retesting requirement from the U.S. Space Force, which controls the range where Artemis will take off from. Now, this is in quotation marks. Certainly, if they decide that is not the right thing to do, we obviously will support that and stand down and look for our next launch attempt. Said Jim Free, Associate Administrator of NASA's Exploration Systems Development Mission Directorate. Good Lord, dude. That's a title. So yeah, I've never heard of this before. The whole waiver for its battery retesting requirements from the U.S. Space Force. So is that going to take another 2 years now? Or they'll say 6 months and then just forget about it. I mean, we were doing this in 2017. They were supposed to send people around the moon. They had it all ready to go. We were like a month out. And they had to push it back 6 months and then never talked about it again. When are people going to catch on to this shit? Sorry.
So here.
That's all right. I have a news story too if you wanted to. I mean, you're making it complicated with the news and where you even have to read into it, but you don't even have to read into it anytime you see space. I don't know. Can you see my screen now? But this is a simple one. Pakistan flooding is so extensive it can be seen from space. Innocent enough, right?
This one's funny.
This is funny. So
not
here it is.
flooding in Pakistan. That's not funny. But
that's not funny at all. But remember, this can be seen from space. So as soon as you now have space in there, go ahead and notice the brown, muddy water. And we'll show you some more of the flooding from ground. And look at how it used to be. And now all of these areas are azure and navy blue and royal blue and azure blue. Look at this. Look at how beautiful it is now that it's flooded. I mean, those colors are outstanding. And who would know that from space that this, yes, the brown muddy waters would show up in space like this.
Yeah.
So you can go into like the thinking through the articles, but if you just really apply your eyes as filters to anything that has space in it, these homes are surrounded by floodwaters, and it's a shame, but somehow they had to make this a article about space to make it exciting, and people click in, and this was their headline. They showed like, oh my gosh, from space, look at that. It's now all is flooded, so we should make it blue because water is blue, right? Even though this water is not blue, our cameras NASA says this is a considerable amount of waterfall when compared to 30 years of data. Thank you, NASA. That's for, yeah.
Mhm.
And this is how when they do it, yeah, it's going to, here you go, close-ups now. Look, it's all blue. There you have it. And you can see that's what it looks like. You can't, look, in other news stories covered a lot of pictures from Pakistan, and I can tell you it's like the waters around here. It's this brown, muddy water. It's not going to be blue. Your eyes, again, people, they put big images in front of our face at every turn, and it desensitizes you to it.
Stranger to blue waters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just looking at shows at Ironworx from 2018 and some of the stuff that Walt had written up here. Space everywhere and not a drop to think. Today we cover so much spacey propaganda. How fake was it? Well, we are well warned of imminent war in space by an official Air Force kind of guy. So it's official. You can officially prepare now. Get ready for space wars. Well, hold up now. We are dangerously close to copyright infringement territory here. We have finally hardened our space hearts and put our collective space nose to the space grindstone. We have done it. Don Pettit, we will go back to the moon by 2020 or 2019 or at least park a renamed space toy in orbit around the moon, right? We can do it. Space led us ahead. But I kid the liars. I didn't figure out a way to change the weather from pipe freezing winter to hot, humid summer in February within a week, and achieved over unity during a February 21st test at Stennis Space Center in southern Mississippi, where the RS-25 engines reached their highest power level ever achieved. According to a recent statement by NASA, 113%. These all go to 11. Oh, yeah. It's really crazy, the stories we've gone over.
Only NASA can give 113%.
113% power out of their engines. Damn Skippy. But there was Don Pettit there in 2018 talking about how we'll be back to the moon in 2019 or maybe 2020. Guess he was wrong.
Guess he was wrong.
Did you all see that we had Walt in our chat?
I did see that there was Walter in a chat.
Walter, we hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening. No guilt at all that we're totally floundering without you and missed your input. So yeah, no guilt, no guilt at all, Shal. No, seriously, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful evening out because again, Friday nights are there for making memories in person if you can. So have a blast. Know that we're thinking of you and sending love.
I did want to take a moment to talk about how beautiful my flowers are looking. I'm still on this weird race against a pH imbalance, I think, because I'm reusing my soil. And I think it just throws the pH off when I put them in there. And I have yet to actually get a good pH reading, either from the runoff water or make a slurry with the soil and pH it that way. So I have yet to correct anything. So it's this weird kind of lazy man's race. While I do nothing to actually prevent it, I'm just trying to beat pH lockout before I get my full flower cycle in. So I'm like, how little can I do? I'll just keep dumping water on it and hopefully it'll flush everything out and get everything balanced before I have to harvest. But I've got this little gal, Bubba Stinkbug. What a name, right?
Sweet girl.
So it's
sweet, Bubba.
I've never, I don't have a whole lot of experience growing, right? But I have some. I've got maybe a dozen different genotypes under my belt at one way or another that I've grown. But this gal is just beautiful. Just the bud structure, the formations, and just the overall plant is just a gorgeous looking plant. And again, because I'm battling these pH issues, I wasn't sure just how larfy, how airy these buds were going to turn out to be, because it was kind of looking maybe that way. But the past couple of days, they really started packing on some really serious mass and some density, getting hard. So really getting some weight packed on there. They smell so good. The hairs, usually they kind of white or sort of yellow hairs that come out, the pistils that come out. These are like a neon green. It is so pretty. And just to touch them and the smell and all those terpenes is just amazing. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to whoever may have come up with Bubba Stink Bug, even crossed with whatever the fuck it was crossed with, because who the hell knows, it was outside. So some random pollen blew through. So I don't even know what this thing is crossed with. But whenever they stabilize those genetics, man, would I love to have a little pack of those seeds, because those are just fucking amazing, beautiful plants. I would love to get one that's actually trained up. I just let this gal go all natural, just fucking big bush 80s style type of thing. And again, still gorgeous, but I would love to get a couple just trained up and just kind of see what I could do there. But just absolutely loving it. I probably got maybe another week or two. The thing about that Bubba Stink Bug is it looks like my trikes are all turning amber. But there's no way, because it's still early.
I was going to say, already?
That's why I can't figure it out. And it's like a lot. It's like there really is almost no clear and no cloudy. Just like trichomes, boop. Oh, amber is the color of our energy. That's great. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm not cutting. I'm just going to let it see what it does. And she started packing on weight. So I guess I'm just going to enjoy my couch lock, because they'll just be stacked with amber trikes. But loving it. Having a blast. I already got my next 2 started. Bag seeds, of course. But no, there's something. I think those were the Versaces, now that I think about it. I think those were the 2 Versaces.
Well, that's beautiful. We have a couple of, and we're a year early, really, because the plants are supposed to be 2 years old. But we got blackberries coming in for the first time, and it's really exciting, and they're good.
Biggest blackberries I've ever seen.
Beautiful, plump,
They were huge.
sweet,
like
delicious.
the size of a quarter round, and then even longer the oblong way. Never seen them get that round before.
And juicy and delicious, and we had 5 of them to split amongst us, so they didn't last very long. But it's like hope of things to go, because that blackberry bush is going wild, and it looks like the blackberry bush likes it better here than the raspberry bush. We're looking right now to see what likes what where, and there's some getting the soil to match the plant. But I think on general gardening, it's smartest to like find the plants that like what you have and want to grow abundantly and like it there. So we're trying to see what wants to live here, and blackberries definitely are going to want to live here.
Yeah, Brian even said his blackberries were the size of his thumb this year. Just huge.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'd never seen them that big before, Brian. Maybe this is the year of the blackberry.
It could be, because they were there. I mean, they were, if you wanted to do a photo shoot of blackberries and have the perfect pictures and what they should look like and how juicy and full and that, our blackberries were there. They were like the perfect models.
Ooh,
they were beautiful.
Now,
all 5 of them.
Show us your angry blackberries. Yeah, that's it. Hold it right there. You some saucy blackberries.
So I'm going to discipline my black squish. No, they were firm, juicy, wonderful blackberries. And we have some more growing, so we're going to maybe have a couple more blackberries another day or 2. But that gives hope that next year when they're supposed to come in, because again, with the blackberry plants, your first year isn't supposed to even give you fruit. So I'm really pleased. They like it here.
Well, I'm excited.
And for people worried about it, these are the thorn-free blackberries, and the ones that are not meant to. People worry about the blackberries taking over, especially in the Northwest, where they have the perfect rainy conditions, and you have the wild blackberries that take over. But these are like the thornless ones that, again,
yeah, I mean, every blackberry is going to take over if you don't trim it back. You have to cut them back.
But they're
Well,
not the vicious. These aren't the nasty ones that stab you when you cut them back. So we didn't get the violent blackberries. We got the friendly ones.
You have to harvest quick on those friendly ones. Everybody likes the friendly ones.
I know. Yeah, I'm surprised no critter bites or anything. They were like pure and beautiful.
And the wormwood is going gangbusters. The wormwood loves it here.
Completely loves it. Some love it. Some things hate it.
And
And we're
that's a
learning.
hallucinogen. That's the hallucinogen that they put in absinthe.
Well, that's a good thing to like it here.
I guess you can buy absinthe in the United States now, but it can't have wormwood in it. They put in other flavors to match that flavor.
Our
So
grand
yeah, the
also
wormwood
likes,
that gives you the you're supposed to see a green fairy or whatever. I don't know. I've never had wormwood.
I haven't seen the green berries. I know that we have mimosa that loves it here. This is an area where mimosa, grows for the DMT. And again, this is fertile grounds for hallucinogens. Mushrooms are here.
Champagne and orange juice?
Mm-hmm.
You grow champagne and orange juice right there in North Carolina? Next to the wormwoods?
Yeah, next to the wormwoods.
That's what I meant, South Carolina. Yeah. Fucking YouTube showing me all the goddamn Camp Lejeune ads.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those lately too.
North Carolina on the brain.
Trying to get you to move.
Yep. Maybe before too long. Even Dixie was standing outside last week. Guess it was Monday because they were just finishing off their last little pool party of the season. Dixie looks over and says, "Yep, we need to move further out." Yeah, we do.
That's the thing that sucks about trying to find a place to, retire. Because it can be that perfect spot when you move in. But, as time goes on, things can change. My uncle moved out. You used to have to drive, well, you still do. You drive through a wine vineyard to get to his, and now it's a gravel road. It used to be a dirt road. But it's all gravel road. And there were 5 houses when he moved in there on these 2 lakes. He didn't have a neighbor you could see at all. Now, this was probably 28 years ago, I think now, 29 years ago. Now there's 36 houses on these 2 lakes. And there's only 5 people that live there all year round. The other 31 are people from Chicago that have more money than brains that come out there and tear up his property with their 4-wheelers and destroying his fences, driving drunk and slamming into his wooden fences and stuff. I mean, they've destroyed so much stuff. They come out there and think it's just a party spot for the weekend. And they don't, oh my goodness. He sounds like the grumpy old fart, But yeah, he came out there to retire thinking, oh, this would be perfect. Nice and quiet, surrounded by woods. And then now he's at his, early 80s, where you don't want to move when you're 80. And now he's surrounded by people again. So yeah, it's pretty much luck of the draw. Good luck with that, though, Josh. I hope it works out for you. Finding a spot that doesn't turn into that.
Yeah, but like 100 acres, if you're in the middle.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. See, yeah, that's what he didn't do. He went and bought 35 acres up in the UP, but he didn't want to live up in the UP. He put a little cabin up there to go, just hang out with his wife for a vacation a couple times a year. And I was like, why didn't you buy that for your house, 35 acres, and put your house in the middle? And then you wouldn't have neighbors to worry about and all that stuff.
My dad just went to the UP, left 2 days ago. Or probably sitting at the UP right now.
Oh, I love it up there. Me and my mom were just talking about that Mackinac Bridge. How terrifying that bridge was to go over. If you don't like heights, oh my goodness. Even riding over it, I was scared. I've only driven over it once. They actually have people, there's a place you can go and like pull off the road right there, and someone will jump in your car and drive you across the bridge for a fee. They have people waiting on both ends. Yeah, so it's not just me. There's other people that don't like it. Yeah, it's scary. Oh, Jana, the UP is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Yeah.
That little part that like jets off of Wisconsin up there. Gorgeous. More bears than people, most likely. Yeah, that was the only time I saw a brown bear. Was up there. Or no, that was black bear. Brown bear was up in Minnesota. Yeah, I saw my first black bear up there in the UP. Copper Harbor. It's like way out. It's about as far north as you can go in Michigan. Yeah, just gorgeous country. Yep, Yoopers, as they're called.
Never been. Don't think I've. Maybe I spent a little time in Michigan, maybe like hours on my way to Canada.
Yeah, just driving through Detroit there to go to Toronto. Or that's not Toronto. What's that one right there across the river from Detroit or the lake? I don't even know. I'm gonna have to go look now.
Pretty sure I
But
lost
yeah,
all brain cells.
you were in Indiana most likely, and then just went up through Michigan a little bit for a few hours, and then cut into Canada. Or did you go up through Wisconsin? Do you remember?
No, I don't even remember.
While you were mentioning Euphorites, I'm just in the background because I will be bringing some to Plottoberfest, and I do have some on my desk right now. I just don't have the camera set up at it. But Euphorite from that area rocks it again when it's on the beach in the daylight. Just looks like a normal rock, but it's highly, highly fluorescent. It has a glow to it. I have something very similar to this piece here, I would say, if you see it, but it's one of your more fluorescent rocks, and I've got it under, trying to think what I'm running it under, that it's my piece is really glowing, and it's something that we will be demonstrating at Plottoberfest. And again, Euphorites, Euper Valley, that is where they find the rocks, and it's just along with the other rocks in there, you shine some UV light on it and see which ones glow. But you wouldn't know without putting the UV light on it that it looks like this. So again, our eyes, our visible spectrum pick up so much, but we're missing so much out there. And this is one of the fabulous ones. Euphorite. I have not been to Upper Michigan, but when I go, I want to look for some, and I have had some shipped to me. So very, very cool. I couldn't resist because you guys said that you threw that word in.
Thank you, Nemo. Windsor is across from Detroit there. I knew it was a pretty large metropolitan area. They have their international airport and all that kind of jazz. Some big buildings. People always give Detroit a bad name. I felt really welcome when I was in Detroit. I stayed there for about a month. Everybody was cool. They don't like stopping at stoplights if nobody's coming. They'll stop, but if there's nobody coming, they just go. That was one thing I noticed in Detroit. You know, there's little syncrasies that people have driving in certain areas. That's theirs. Yeah, it wasn't just once. I saw it like a lot to where it was really noticeable. But yeah, Detroit, every movie I've seen, Detroit gets this horrible, name, and like it's this. And I'm sure there's bad parts, there's bad parts everywhere, but it wasn't nearly as racist as a place like Chicago. It was different. Chicago has, well, whenever I was living around that area, there's a lot of racism around that area. Northern Indiana, Northwest, or Northeastern Illinois. And Detroit didn't seem to have a lot of that. Shit cargo, yeah.
Happy Friday, my friend.
Happy Friday, my friend.
I'm lost. I'm playing with my Youp right now. I am so out of control and so bad.
Gross. Do that live on the air.
I know. I don't think it's going to. Not seen what. Excellent. Instead of me being gone, it's dark and I'm making UV lights go. That's fabulous.
Oh, man. So are we going to try and get Billy Ray on for next Friday?
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
We were going to try to talk a little bit on Wednesday, but he couldn't do it till later. So the plan is, now keep in mind, last week the plan was, but this week the plan is, next week we'll have Billy Ray on.
I can't find any, whatchamacallits.
Ooh, yeah. Have you tried thingamajigs?
Damn, now it's totally gone.
I've got who's its and what's its galore.
Oh, I got it. Parker. I was
Parker
looking for
Edmondson.
some kind of contact information. I can't find an email address, nothing. And I really don't want to ask him in a YouTube comment section, but I think I'm going to have to.
Maybe he's got all of his stuff over there on TikTok. Did you check his TikTok account?
No, I never have been to TikTok. Still.
I didn't figure. That's why I was.
I've never been to TikTok.
I've never been to TikTok either.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've never been to TikTok. It's not my bag. I know there's a lot of flat Earth going on over there.
It's not my preferred way of surveillance.
I mean, do they have videos that are longer than a minute? I thought TikTok was like a minute, 90 seconds, something like that, like limit.
I don't know. I've never been on TikTok. Not my preferred way of surveillance.
God, we sound old, don't we?
We are old. As I play with my little, I get these things that are glowing. If you take and do natural lighting, not at all. Just boring little rocks gray. That orange, this is a blue light, not an orange light. I will stop now.
So, I need to ask David this. The solar, like a solar panel, do they have a rectenna on them? I don't know how solar panels work.
It's LED technology, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. Or LCD, maybe? It's one of the... You can reverse engineer it and run it backwards to do something. I could have sworn they were like, not instead of light emitting diodes, it's sort of the reverse. It's the diode that collects light and turns it into electricity, as opposed to electricity into light.
Nano-sized rectenna for solar cells. Yep. Optical rectenna could double solar cell efficiency. 2015. Yeah, I don't know. Generation from solar power. This is blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Liz says there's a blonde guy doing great flat Earth videos on TikTok. He smiles all the time, and the journalism had to click up on his show.
Yeah, I've seen Flat Earth Banjo. He does a lot of he'll put like a bunch of his videos together and make like a hour-long thing. I've seen a couple of those now with that blonde-haired guy.
Right, and then you had that was Omegle, or the gal he had that was on Omegle. There's so many different venues and so many things to catch your attention, and so it's again where you want to focus your energy. These are good ones. I'm so glad that people are putting focus there, and I'm so glad that the phrase TikTok reminds me of the Hunger Games movie where they figure out the dumb arena is o'clock. Yeah, the TikTok. I don't know. I don't need another app to go and check on my phone. I just know that I want more outdoor time and less phone time, and everybody's got their own little thing going.
Okay, so I don't know, when was this? 2019. They're looking into solar rectennas already. Nano antennas and nano diodes.
I don't know much about antennas, but having
I'm
a little
learning
bitty,
more and
short,
more.
tiny one doesn't seem particularly effective.
Well, it's all about the size of the wave. If you got a really, really, really small wave, then you can use a really, really, really small antenna to pick up that cycle. That's how they're making these really small things that are picking up the microwaves and things like that, because the rectenna doesn't need to be very long. You can just coil it up and you're good to go. Now, I had a conversion chart that was showing they get like 16 volts per meter harnessing microwaves. They get about 80% of them. Now, they can harness about 80% of a radio frequency when they're using rectennas now. So, and that's getting 16 volts per meter. And I don't know if that's per meter of the length of the antenna. I'm not really sure. That's why I want to have Parker on and ask him some of these questions. Come on, Bubba. Hey, come on. But yeah, but if you did the 1 to 30 hertz range, come on, Bubba. It's 10,000 volts per meter. I think that might give us something to work with there. 10,000 volts per meter. That would be like you were gathering it from 300 feet or so? Every meter is 100.
I've not known you to be a liar, Zach. If you say 300, it is.
It's just off the top of my head. Doing a quick conversion. But yeah, I mean, I really think this would work. If you just made the antenna long enough and then tuned it in, we should be able to pick up Earth's resonant energy. I mean, we're doing it, and that's how electricity and magnetism works. You can do it on really small scales, then you can step it up, and it works the same on a big scale. So this should work, in my opinion. This is like free energy. Once you build the device, I mean, you still have to have things that store it and all that kind of stuff and whatnot, but it would be free. Then I've also been thinking about what is that going to do to the system? And I don't know. I'm not sure. That would suck to like split the earth in half. Didn't Tesla say he could do that?
I don't know. I've seen several quotes attributed to Tesla that I don't think came from Tesla.
Yeah, that turned out to be nonsense. True. Very true. But yeah, this whole antenna thing has really been fascinating me, how it all works. And how to catch that certain frequency all has to do with the length of your antenna.
Ain't that the truth?
It's amazing. I am learning so much as you are doing this, and it's so much to take in. I sit in awe of it. I know that we were talking about it. I feel like sometimes I'm going in circles with the learning, but I'm learning why circling. You have your Gaussian plates and your Van de Graaff generator showing the electrostatic. And so, Josh, I had like an idea that, well, couldn't we just put an accelerometer in between the two and show that gravity changes with the electrostatic field, right? But it turns out that they built that number into the equation that they're factoring on the accelerometer. So I'm like back in circles, that all that would prove is that the device works the way it's supposed to, because they know that number has to be factored into it. So it's like they built the lie into the answer, that you can't change it without, if I'm understanding it right, my mind has been melting trying to learn again with what Zach is doing and what my husband is doing, and getting the wavelengths and the amount of coil and that, and really comprehend. They're impressive. And again, I feel blind looking and trying to solve little things and getting caught in circles. So it's Friday night. It's one of those crazy weeks. I don't know if you know this, but it is almost a full moon. 99 point whatever percent will be a full moon tomorrow. And all of the planets are in retrograde except for, is it Mercury or Venus? Which one of those? One of them's not. I think it's Venus. It's either Venus or Mercury, if anybody knows in the chart.
Yeah, that's not on knowledge. That's what you said earlier.
Yeah.
And that's me remembering what you said earlier correctly. So that's not even good to go on either.
Right. And mine is from Karen B putting it in Facebook. But Karen B does follow that. I do know about the moon phases, but the other ones I wasn't tracking everything being in. Mercury went into Gatorade today, so it's Venus that's not, because like the last of the ones didn't. Is that correct, Logan? Venus is
Gatorade?
Yeah, that's what the chat says is Gatorade, and I'm not arguing with them at this point because it's a Friday night, and if they want to call it Gatorade, I'm drinking it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Shauna, it's Venus that's not in retrograde. Is that correct, Shauna?
Plants love
okay,
Brondo.
Mercury is already in Gatorade.
Mercury's already there. So we had one that's not. They said everything was in retrograde except for one, is what Karen put. And I was like, because this has been how many steps backwards to take for every step forward. Venus and Mars are still direct. So Mars is. Okay, so maybe something happened, because I heard everything but one. And the only thing I really am tracking on holding all of the pieces is I'll kind of look at things, but I look at the moon phases or you have to direct your focus or where you don't have to, but where I have been. So many
I just
details
admire
everywhere.
them. You guys can try and figure out what they are. I just admire them and smile and think how happy I am that I didn't let the sun drive me mad.
How do you know? How do you really know?
Well, no crazy person knows they're crazy.
Oh, well, there you have it.
There you have it.
But
They
didn't
all say
drive
they're
me
sane. They don't. None of them
self-raving
question the
mad.
sanity. No. Just like what was it you said?
That flat fellow says Mercury and Venus can't be in retrograde, if I remember right, unless you define retrograde by any Western motion. And I do define retrograde by Western motion, or no, not Western motion. You know what I'm saying? When it goes out of on the loop. So I don't know, Tommy. It's a long, long night. I would have to stop and think about it.
And I don't think
do know. I know exactly where what retrograde is when I visualize.
I thought you had to required everybody.
It's on the spirograph loop when it's in the back part of the loop when you're making the spirograph.
Here, I'll send you something, Cam, and you can share it.
All right.
Explain it.
All right.
About what a retrograde motion is.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the Western motion.
Are you sending it on Skype there, Zach? Because I don't have it.
It's going to take a second.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, wait a minute. Good. I normally can't explain it pretty good, but it's a Friday night and it has been a week. And I am, like I said, he made me exercise. I am so tired. I've done sit-ups, I've done push-ups, I've done kicks, I've put wiggles, and I've done it all.
There you go, camera. It should be in your Skype now.
And I'm pretty old, and so all of it hurts. Make those old lady creaking noises. So
Christ,
there we go.
You wore me out just naming them off.
Ptolemy's model, okay, and it's 5 minutes. So let's see.
You don't need to watch the whole 5 minutes. You could fast forward.
No, I'll fast forward and stop on the pictures on it. Yeah. Let's see. You guys are making me use all of my share screening skills, which I don't have.
You got it. You don't need any sound.
Oh no! So, well, I put sound in that in there in case we want to play a little bit, but
okay.
Okay.
So now, keep in mind. Well, you go ahead. You know about the tropics and all that. I'll let you.
Okay. Keep in mind that this right here is a mixture. You do it really well too. This is a mixture of the Helio model and the flat Earth model. When you are on the Helio model, the way that they draw it, they have to be going out from you in the circles, out from you. So as they go outer from you, they would have to, again, be bigger circles around it. Really what's happening is on a flat Earth where we see them is they stay pretty much like the sun and moon. They pretty much traverse the tropics. They don't go outside of the tropics above us. They just a little bit, but not much. But what they do in the way that we determine, like drawing them outward, is what crosses over in front of another, what ellipses one or another. So what all of these patterns are going to be accurate as far as motions, but each one of these motions is taking place in about the same space. They're the same size patterns. That's only us drawing it in smaller, saying it's closer to us. But again, when you're putting it above us, it's going straight above us, above the tropics. It's staying in those lines, and there is no outward motion. So that is like the first thing that will really confuse a lot of people when looking at the models and mixing it. But the motions that we see, the way that we see, and they do a spirograph pattern from where we view them, that is correct. Where you're doing in retrograde here is where you're actually going backwards. How would you write the backwards on the retrograde? Where you're going, again, this like backwards before going forwards, where it crosses over this node is in retrograde. Is that correct, Zach, on it? So here it would be going backwards between here and there, and then pulling forward again.
Yeah. So yeah, when it's doing that little loop backwards,
That little
that's
loop right there,
retrograde.
that's retrograde. So it doesn't necessarily look backwards to you, but it's meaning that it's no longer here. You're going forward. I'm going to take this backwards around or this way. You're going forward. It's hitting the loop, and you're kind of going backwards on the loop until it comes out and crosses that loop. So I believe that they're calling the loop the retrograde portion, where you're taking it out of like a continual cycle. If you can find a better way to explain that or clarify it better, I can also go over or find a different diagram, maybe that takes it further with the pictures.
Well, I
But
dropped a. We'll go ahead and hit play because it's going to show. If you look in there, you can see
you'll watch him
Venus
doing
is
that.
real close. Venus is the 5 loop right there. Mars is one of the 2 ones.
Mars is right here doing the 2, and again, they are moving them out and making us a planet, which is not the way that we view them. From where we view them, again, they're going to be directly overhead and making these little patterns that are all ranging between the tropics. They're showing it on here too, and as they're going along with their epicycles and their drawing, you're now entering retrograde, going backwards, coming out of it, and you're forward. So that's how they're interpreting retrograde is like in the loops. And again, as far as the technicalities, it could be a certain portion of the loop. I'm not looking at the chat. This is certainly not my number one area of expertise, other than I've mimicked the patterns and have matched
Drop
them up to
another
spirograph.
video in there, Cam, if you want to show what it looks like actually from our point of view.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if I can find that. Everybody can watch me do that because I'm sharing the screen. I don't have the other one in there yet, Zach.
Yeah,
Here's,
that bottom one.
I think that's what I'm in right now.
No.
Quick shout out to Ian in chat. Gonna go hang out with the guests. Lucky guests they are. We absolutely love Ian, so we're jealous you get to enjoy his company there in person. Yeah, we love Ian. Just want to point that out.
Did you want me to play him speaking or start at the beginning, or
No, just zoom forward, or you'll see where it is. It'll pop up and he'll show. Keep going. Keep going. It shows like maybe that was just his thumbnail. If you could just show the thumbnail then.
It's not going to give me that view from here.
That's going to be tough.
Thumbnail is not going to, because I didn't click into. I'd have to go to his channel. Let's see.
Or if you copy and paste the video name and the channel name into Google, then search for images.
Right here. Okay. So this is what it's showing is around us. It's doing that type of motion where
it's not like it all happens in one night. This takes a long period of time for it to do
exactly.
This. But if you took a picture every night at the same time as it's passing, you would get that spiral right there that you see in that picture.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, what a bummer of a thumbnail to not even show that at all in what you're.
I know not to give you the visual on it. This again, if you can reel them in and make them on top of them, we do know by the pictures and the way that we do this that Mercury, Venus also have phases along with the moon, and so you can learn a lot by looking at and putting it directly overhead, knowing that Mercury and Venus have to be playing within the same planes as the sun and the moon, the same like little thing where the other planets are above and will eclipse their other. They're not going to be affected that way, so they have to be higher and not ever crossing over the planes. So again, you can look at the diagrams. I don't do the loops as much as do the altitudes and try to derive some information from it. Again, that they would stay in the tropics. They're following their particular, what you would call a spirograph pattern, which makes sense when you do the magnetics and that it's doing its same. We've seen how things rotate around in with electrostatics and that it's following its own pattern, going around the center North Pole. and drawing, again, following this perfect pattern. And when they go into the reverse part, or where they go into their loop, we call it retrograde, calling it backwards. Because again, from the helio, I guess you can say it feels like it's going backwards, or it's a break in the pattern. It's again where it's making its loop and changing.
I think it's like the Coriolis effect. It's got it's like an apparent effect. So it's not like they're going backwards.
No, they're just doing their cycle.
It just appears that way.
I agree with that too, that again, by making their loop, they're just following their natural things. If you're saying it totally appears to our eyes and they're not doing it, I don't rule out a possibility with a lot of the things in the skies when you start working with the optics and start working with the items that you have up in the sky that we know that are there.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is if you're
and that are
tracking
described
the motion,
there.
tracking the motion, and suddenly it's going from one direction and now it's going back in the other direction.
It's not doing that. You're right. It's following its own little pattern. It follows its pattern perfectly, progressing always forward. But you're right. It makes a loop, and its pattern has got loops in it, which again is not. That makes a lot of sense from working with magnetics and electricity, and not that is something you see scaled down.
Yeah, you would, like, if the stars were stopped and never moved, and the planets, then it would, I know, because then still, would it look like a normal loop then?
I don't know.
If you stop the stars? Because, it's like it doesn't make a loop in the sky. It's constantly going around you every single day,
Right.
Yeah.
It's still got
that's
the
weird.
same motion. It just sort of has the appearance of going back in motion.
It almost slows down. It looks like it just slows down for a little bit and then speeds back up. But to us, it looks like a loop because we're basing it off of time. Our time.
Oh, my.
And they're on their own time.
Our perspective, where we are, everything comes from there. And again, I'll follow back to even when we're doing it, when you're talking about a sky that's described historically like molten looking glass or a rainbow bridge or different attributes that you've always read in history about our sky. You work with magnetic fields. You're asking for optical phenomena. I mean, all of these things produce optical phenomena and affect kaleidoscope. There are all kinds of, not just refraction and diffraction, and that there are all kinds of potentials. Now add crystals up there, make your firmament crystalline. I'm telling you, every single one of these things is an optical illusion maker in itself. So if you think for sure you can look at it and know that what you're seeing with your receptors that pick up such a little bitty speck of dust of the electromagnetic spectrum, by itself, just that little slice, and you think you know what's going on and you know where things can be and you can triangulate them. The triangulation, again, taking that type of, some things you can scale, magnetic field, you can scale electricity, again, you can scale the different things. Even musical scales are that. But when you're taking perspective and just scaling it and saying triangulation, and you can triangulate to something that is hundreds of thousands of miles away through magnetic fields, through different things, and come up with accurate, like they do on the helio model. It's absurd. And even putting it into the distances on the flat Earth model, it doesn't make any sense logically when you're dealing with the pieces that you're dealing with as far as reality. They admit there's a magnetic field. They admitted magnetic fields affect optics. I mean, again, it's just having to look at it differently and shake off everything they've taught you, unlearn it first before relearning. You have the two things out there. You have the physics that are theoretical and the real physics that are used for different trades and repeatable and used in tech, and is, little data bits of information that are too tried and true. They're like the key roots on the map. They're too common to be faked. In other words,
so from our perspective, when one of these wandering stars moves westward, this means it's in retrograde. Just want to make sure I'm understanding. Yeah, it'll never actually move westward. I mean, it's always moving. Well, yeah, they're always going east to west. The planets are always moving east to west. It's just they seem to slow down for a little bit and kind of change their altitude.
So to me, that's where it confused me too, as it seemed like everything was going west all of the time. So I did not understand the question,
Yeah,
Tommy.
everything is always going west, but the
It's like a pause in the
if you
feel of
take
it,
a
where the rest of
picture
the stuff
every
is
single
moving.
night, yeah, if you take a picture every single night of it, it'll appear to be going backwards because it's slowing down compared to the stars behind it. It's never really going backwards. It's just slowing down and changing its altitude. So you're never going to see a star going from the western sky to the eastern sky during the night. Never happens. They're always moving to the west.
It's an apparent motion.
Yeah.
Like
apparent
Coriolis
to the
is an
star.
apparent effect because it's not really, as they say, curving. It just appears to be doing it that way. The retrograde motion is just that appearance of it. Retrograde doesn't really exist. No retrograde on a flat Earth. No, but it's one of those things that just it appears with the perspective of the stars behind it and the way that it slows down. That when you're plotting it, pretty soon your plotting isn't consistent anymore, and pretty soon it appears to be plotting backwards.
So if the Earth were spinning, though, then the planets would be doing loop-de-loops, right?
Fuck. Not likely.
Or would it be the same? I don't know. Now my head hurts. Ow.
See, I think if you imagine maybe not the initial break on the pool table, but like the second shot on the pool table, I think that's more like what it'd be. Just, everybody playing slop. We'll just shoot it and see what happens.
I'm glad we did this tonight. I've never thought of retrograde before in this manner. I would have told you that, planets, they go backwards sometimes. I would have said that this morning, 2 hours ago.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, now that I actually sit and think about it, no, it never actually goes backwards. It just appears to go backwards, apparent to the stars behind it.
It's like Coriolis, damn it. I'm going to keep saying it till I don't sound crazy.
There's a video for someone to put out. No retrograde on a flat Earth.
No retrograde motion on a flat Earth? Yep.
I still have to think about that more and put the things in motion correctly before, like, jumping on 100%. I think you're going to mess with your little astrology people a lot with the effects and what they pick up by retrograde motion. So I want to learn more, do the visual. Yeah, I see what the apparent and the energies.
It'll make sense. Yeah, it'll just be like, okay, this one slows down, so it affects the area beneath it even more.
Right. That could be too. Again, it is energies we're deriving from them, so I'm careful on wanting to ponder it a lot really carefully before really jumping on one way or the other. Going to be wishy-washy. I'm tired. Zach wore me out. I'm going back to that. And yeah, more exercising.
Well, shit, I kind of want to end this on a high note.
Okay, how do we do that? Is that a puff
Bye,
party?
everybody.
Or...
Love y'all.
I mean, no, in that sense, I'm always high. We ended it at any fucking given time. I started this at the end, if that's the case.
Karen and Witsit start in a half hour.
I've been dropping the link in the chat.
They start in a half hour? What the hell time is it?
It's 8:32 now, and they start at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly, Logan. It seems like when they slow down, they also drift. In their altitude, north to south in the sky. They definitely, because it makes that. It looks like it does a big looping pattern.
Yeah, I know that the sun, moon, and again Venus and Mercury playing with the sun and moon have altitude changes to them, where again that why they're circling and going between the tropics and doing that they are changing altitude. You can tell by the phases. I have no reason to believe that, again, these other ones are not going in perfect flat plane circles, that they can have, again, with their cycles, some up and down motion.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a three-dimensional reality. Things are going to have three dimensions in movement. And so, again, we write it down onto paper and draw the circles pretty easy, but we're not putting in, again, a different view of it.
And that would mean that they would have to speed back up then to catch back up with the stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. The
So that
planets
really
are
starts to
really
make
doing some wild stuff.
right. That starts to really make sense on doing it.
Huh.
Tommy, this would be we're getting ready to say goodbye, but
I was gonna give it 15 minutes just to wrap shit up. I'm not one
that's
to necessarily
perfect.
just
Jose wants me to shout him out and give myself a shout out too. Shout out Jose. I saw you trolling in another chat earlier today that I was just watching. You do good troll work, I guess. Is that what you want your shout out to be? I'll give myself a shout out. Shout out to me. I made it through exercise. I'm going to be doing more today, and I'm trying to get myself healthy and circulation going, and again on a healthy target. So shout out to me too for making those old lady creaky noises and still getting up tomorrow and trying again.
You can give a shout out to Hank Pank.
How about
We're
this?
gonna, Hank Pank. Shout out to Hank Pank, in a second. This is Hank Pank. Hank Pank, you are the most handsome dog in the world, and you say, "Arr!" Sing, Hank, sing. Okay. He sings. He likes it. Hank is singing. His favorite song is Werewolves of London. That one, even in the background, will get him on a singing fit. It's party time. Shout out Hank. Good boy. All right. Do we have shout out you two men, but Josh, you've got something to shout out to Bunny and something probably more better.
Hey.
Hey.
I don't know. I don't think it was important.
Oh, it had to be better than shouting out Hank. I am very rude, but he was whining.
Not likely.
He was singing so pretty.
Oh, it was a combined shout out because I have a friend who lives down the road and he's got on his refrigerator. Are you ready for this? Hippie troll magnets. It's like Zach's the hippie, JG's the troll, Cammy's the magnet.
Oh, I like that. Look at that. That's fabulous.
Hippie troll magnets.
Hank approves. He approves, huh? Oh.
4 minutes until 20 somewhere. Excellent. Oh. I think I misread that, but I'm going to take it.
Maybe that's how long it takes to break up and roll it. 4 minutes. 4 minutes till it's 4:20 right motherfucking here.
I got 5 on it. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't have a whole lot more. I miss Walter. It's not the same without Walter.
I miss Walter who talked so I didn't have to.
I miss Walter. I was going to be a total slacker tonight. And then, Walt, he didn't show. Good night, everybody. We still have a couple more minutes to slack, but good night, everybody. We'll see you over at the Flat Earth debates to cheer on our friends and wish them well. I will see you on Globebusters on Sunday, where I'll be in the chat.
Now, is that over on Modern Day Debate?
It is on Modern Day Debate. And I'll drop it in the chat again.
You guys will have
Probably won't see me over there.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
There's a good chance you won't see me in the. Well, no, I will. I will cheer him on a little bit. Jose, I'll probably see you there trolling. Quite possibly. Be
Give them my
nice.
best.
These are my friends. They're good people.
They are good people. I
Yeah.
did want to give Karen B a shout out. I know she went and picked up Brian Stavely so he could go home and convalesce. So I hope he has an expedient convalescence.
Excellent. And these are, again, Karen B and Austin, really great people, sincere, working hard to try to friendly, get the message out and do as much as they can to wake people up. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is the same debate forum where Dave debated not Professor Dave, right?
Yeah, not a Professor Dave.
Yeah,
Which
if you enjoyed watching Dave make him look like a fool, it's probably going to be more of that. The flat earther being overtalked the whole time and a bunch of just nonsense coming from the globe. Or maybe they are better people. I don't know.
these ones they may be better, but if you see other people stepping outside and looking at that video, you'll see that somebody that was not part of the flat earth movement looked at it and found 109.
That's what the other one was. That
Right.
video you found showing it was a guy who does he cover all kinds of debates now?
He covers. I can show you his channel and probably find that. That's what I was looking for originally. Give me a minute to pull that up because that's really good. What this channel is it's Mind. What's his channel name? Mind. Who knows? I am not in pop culture, but it's a channel that he discusses. His biggest video was the Kardashians. By the way, so he discusses current topics in that, but what he did do is he took apart that video with Professor Dave and David Weiss. Yes, I'm looking for the video while doing it. He took apart the video and did it for fallacies, listing like again fallacy techniques, what to use in the debate, where you just make up facts or things are not truthful or it's just an insult, and he track the I have it, brought it up here and we're getting ready to share. We'll tell you more about now in a minute. Screen share. Woohoo. Share to optimize. I think I'm getting it now. It's the end of the thing doing it. Okay, you have the channel Mind Shock. And again, if you look at the Mind Shock channel on there, you'll see that his 17,000 subscribers, Bigfoot hit and run Sasquatch, his different things on here. His most recent is this from a day ago, Flat Earth Dave Humiliates. So what you're talking about with the talkover, they have it listed as Flat Earth Dave Humiliates Professor Dave. And what he's doing is he's not taking, he spends his first part of the video saying that I am not contesting the facts. I'm not in this to say if this is flat earth or if this is globe earth. It has nothing to do with it. It's strictly debate tactics, what facts are pros and what is fallacy. So he's counting fallacies only. Fallacies meaning that when they state something, he can prove it wrong, or fallacies that it's just a name call, a straw man, all of the different fallacies. So he's going to go through and he's going to do the debate and he's going to keep a tally and he's going to tell people again, when you make comments on the video, remember, I'm not taking a point. I am just calling out fallacies. So right now we have David Weiss at 0 fallacies, Dave Farina 6 fallacies. Let's see how we keep on going through what Zach was calling the over talking and treated like crap. Let's see how the outside sees it. Let's keep going. Where are we now? David Weiss has got 2 fallacies in his argument. Professor Dave, 87.
Oh my goodness.
Should we keep going? Proving things in that. And again, he'll take it apart. This is long. This is an hour and a half. Do I have something going in the background or?
I definitely hear something.
Oh, there might be then. I don't hear anything.
Okay, because I'm getting feedback somewhere and I'm really sorry. I don't think I'm causing it. I don't show any other speakers going. But again, if you take it past, where are we going here? Again, he's not talking about is globe earther this real. He's talking about debating skills and putting facts. And it just took me away from that. It's okay. I can negotiate back. 179, 198 fallacies versus 10, 261 fallacies versus 11. Is he going to call out on like where you just say a lie or say a name or say a straw man or do something that's not has to do with it? So again, this man's video and looking into it is not the facts of flat Earth, but what's going on in the debates. And he's seeing, even though you saw it as something where Dave was humiliated and talked over it, that people coming in from the outside are seeing that Dave Farino is just an asshat and thinks that being smug is being right, and being an asshole is being right. And it doesn't work with a lot. It might work with some people. It might work with, again, the people that abuse people, that have to be shouted down. Maybe they got abused as parents, and that's, as children by their parents, and feel like the only way to get attention, is to suck up to somebody that yells at them. But again, people that have respect for themselves aren't going to have respect for Professor Dave on the outside. It's, again, that type of technique only goes so far, even though YouTube pushes it. And he's now got like over 11 million views on one of the videos he did against my husband, Globebusters. Again, if you are not in Flat Earth and you hear about Globebusters in video, they're going to feed you this most annoying person ever. But people are starting to figure it out that intimidation or smugness is not, these were lies, these were fallacies. And so, again, how you conduct yourself, put out information, that in the long run is going to win. And I agree with him that Flat Earth Dave humiliated Professor Dave in this Mind Shot podcast.
Yeah, same here. I thought not Professor Dave made himself look like an ass.
Exactly. And again, when you act like that, you really speak more of yourself than who you're debating. So he might, in his mind, think he's winning because he can smell his own fart or whatever is that what they called it on South Park? But yeah, it doesn't really get you a lot of adult fans. You're just going to get, again, people, they get off on that type of behavior and not facts. So
Video game trolls.
Video game trolls. So I'm going to stop that. I still am hearing feedback to myself, but
yeah, I think we had it figured out, didn't we?
That's why I keep muting.
And it goes away when you do. Huh?
It's the Tesla coils in play at this house, and what it's done to our electronics is true.
It's created a photocopy in an alternate universe right there in the very same room with you. So when you talk, it picks it up in both universes, and then it overbleeds from one universe to the other in the mirror phone. Way to go, Zach!
Just wait.
15 minutes to debate time. We're hoping that, like, again, on this one on the debate channel, I think I've seen Amy debate before, and if she's who I think she is, she's like a student in astrophysics or something like that, and was not as nasty. So it might be an actually good, I'm hoping for a good discussion and not a troll fest.
I hope she's possible. Like 26 years old, and I hope she has to raise her voice at the end of every sentence so that everything she says sounds like a question, so that you really never know when it is she's asking a question, because everything always goes up. I love
It's possible.
It.
It's possible. We'll have to watch.
Just wait. And if she's from like the West Coast and from those liberal arts colleges, she'll probably be like super uber fake nice and just try to be, look at how non-combative I am and how non-aggressive I am, so that any slight aggression can be met with pure, unadulterated fakeness. I've seen some crazy stuff out there. That would be entertaining. That would be good. But maybe it's not going to be that way at all. Maybe she's Super smart, super intelligent, super well spoken.
Well, on the other side, we have Austin
With a big
Woodson, who
grin on
is.
his face.
Yeah. On the other side of the table, we have Austin Woodson and Karen B, who I would have to say are super smart and super well versed and super educated and bright on the topic. So I think, regardless, it's going to wherever they want to take it. We're up to it.
I think that the audit video with Austin's got almost 1 million views. With the scientist gets arrested or scientist gets trespassed or whatever it was. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he caught a lot of slack from a bunch of the other auditors for that video.
Yeah,
you know, saying, we went and actually looked at all the laws and everything, and you didn't give that guy a very fair audit. Yeah. I know his channel seemed to have taken a hit, too, after that. He doesn't get nearly as many views anymore like he used to. He still gets quite a few, but not like he was there. Seemed like the audit, because he's given a few bad auditing. It wasn't just Austin's review.
Yeah.
He did a bad one for Amagansett Press, I know. And I don't know if he's ever gone after Rights Crispy or Rogue Nation or any of those guys.
I don't think in a negative way. I know I've seen him do their videos, but he's usually pretty.
Yeah, he is pretty fair usually.
Jesus Christ, I'm stoned. I cannot pull my words out like I need to. What time we got? Oh, we're past time. I want to give a quick shout out to Awesome Austin, who will hopefully be listening back later. He had Jaron on recently, which was a badass show. Everybody head on over there, check out Jaronism on the Melodome. They had some really cute little bastardization that they did, but fuck if I can remember it. Go check out Jaron Campanella. Awesome Austin on the Awesome Austin channel. Good shit. Then do head over, check out this fucking debate if you want to. Give them my best. Tell them we sent you. Don't tell them that, because we're not going. We don't expect anybody else to. Congrats if you are trying. If this is your first, I don't envy you. But let's see what else. Nothing. It's a good show this morning. We do the Ironworx. Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Check us out every Tuesday and Friday mornings, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. That is in the Central Time Zone. Then right back here Friday afternoons, Friday evenings-ish, I guess, usually 5:30, 5:45, something like that. We were running a little bit late. Not even sure we were going to do a show. I was just going to sort of, I don't know, click the live button, see what happens. I want to do something different. You guys give me some ideas of what we can do different. And see where that went. And Zach said, we can go. We can not. It's whatever. I said, hey, yeah, we can go. We can not. It's whatever. He said, Cammy's here. I said, well, fuck. Cammy's here. Zach's here, I guess. We'll just go. So it turned out to be a really good show. I'm glad it was informative. I'm glad we got to have a whole different perspective, so to speak, on retrograde motion.
No retrograde on flat Earth.
It's an apparent motion only. Yeah. Like Coriolis. But we love you guys, and we will see you either right back here next Friday with Billy Ray Valentine and some really awesome discussions to be had for sure. Or again, Ironworx, Tuesday, Friday mornings. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be good. Be well. Bye-bye.
Love y'all.
All right, this fade in, fade out stuff doesn't seem to work. I think the timing is all off. I don't know. That should have been going much earlier. Anyway, that's it. Sorry. I got Tommy Tell the Truth. Flat Earth Haters channel wanting to sue people because Flat Earthers says he's scamming people and he's got a list. Yeah, you can make a list of people that's got a list of flat earthers. Great stuff. Love you guys. Have a good weekend.